Hello everybody, I hope you are doing well, and here I am, another Sunday night, another drawing, and excuse me for being a little bit on the later side, so it's pretty much late, but I'm still counting this as on Sunday, although it's past midnight now, but I really had a busy day and I could only fit it at this time, so that will have to do. So today I bring you a drawing, as you can see, made in soft pastels, which is a technique that I've been trying lately along with watercolor, and well, along but not in at the same time, and it's very interesting, and it was quite the fight to get to this drawing, which I don't exactly consider as very successful. I think it's got a few mistakes, but overall I like it. I'm happy with it, especially it's my first real drawing with soft pastels, and I learned a ton. I really like the medium, so I probably will keep doing stuff with it. And the drawing isn't brilliant per se, it's just this kind of the theme and the idea behind it is it's this kind of how can I say this? I'm going to put this sort of like sorceress or priestess that has the evil is lurking behind her. Is like my idea like the prompt that motivated this was lurking evil. A prompt that I had written in my my idea sketchbook. I have a small sketchbook that I carry along all the time and has just ideas and stuff, either thumbnails or written prompts or stuff that just comes to mind. I just put there and make notes and all that. So this was sitting there and I looked at it and I found some reference I really liked. This gorgeous girl with very unique expression, and the face isn't exactly her face, but it captures a lot of her expression. And then I wanted to make it as if she was, she had like some evil demon or something behind. Now, I'm really unhappy with the demon because I think I could have pushed it far, but I didn't. I was tired. And yeah, I know, excuses, but yeah, I was a little bit tired, and I just thought, okay, this is not the main theme here. The main theme is the girl, and I really need to learn more about this medium before I attempt some really more complex, harder stuff. And I was already struggling because doing those skin tones was really not easy for me, really hard to do them, and I'm glad that I did do them to a level that satisfied me, but they still could be much better. It doesn't matter. I like it. I love the experiment. I don't have many pastels yet. I feel tempted to buy more, but at the same time, I don't want to do that before I do more drawings and I realize what I really need. That's kind of a method I use usually, which is I buy minimalistic, try the materials with a very basic stuff, try to realize I do 3 or 4 drawings, and then I get an idea of what I need to add on to that. And once I get that idea, I gather the materials and I then keep going. And I have a sort of a set way of doing things. So that's sort of my methodology on these matters. But as I said, this was fun. This was awesome. I loved it. It's very interesting the way you can shade stuff. It's actually more than one. There's actually more than one way to do things. And it's not a very used medium. And I know why. It is not a clean medium. It is sort of dirty and dusty. And I had one earlier experiment just in black and white with soft pastels. And I tried to fix them, and the whole thing turned darker. So when I used fixative on it, the entire drawing went darker, and I got really disappointed. And the more I read about it, the more I found that fixatives would just darken it. Any brand, any type, so on and so forth. And I was really disappointed because if all of this dust on this paper doesn't get protected, it'll just become crap in time. Sooner or later, it'll just turn into mush. And I don't have the money to always frame these, and especially, this drawing is not frame worthy. It's just some experimental thing. So I thought about it, and I started asking around, watching videos, and it was not very encouraging. But at my regular art store, I did find out that they had a specific fixative for soft pastels. And I talked to them and told them that I had seen many of those so-called specific fixatives online being used and failing. So I requested them to allow me to do an experiment with a little bit of piece of paper and some leftover soft pastels that they had lying around. And if this worked, I promised I would take the spray can. And they did. They were very, very, very gracious. And they also weren't certain, and they were like, okay, we also stand to benefit from this knowledge, so yeah, let's do that. So we did that, and we found out that there's this specific brand called Sennelier, which is awesome, for example, in terms of artist grades watercolors. But they also produce this spray that's great for soft pastels, and it really darkens very, very little. I applied about 5 coats to 6 coats of this spray fixative, and it really didn't drop that much. And it was very surprising. I was very pleased, and I now feel that I can do more drawings in this medium, which is lovely. It allows you a number of wonderful things. And yeah, that's it. So I'm sorry to bore you guys with this little story, this little detail, but it was very interesting that they helped me, and they were able to, or willing to stand up to my questions and just not go the easy way and say, oh, we don't know, if you want, you need to buy it, and that's it. They just went the extra mile, and that was cool. So yeah, soft pastels, here they are. Now, last week I mentioned that I was trying out a new subscription-based teaching site, and I started subscribed to Schoolism.com. Now, Schoolism.com is a little bit more expensive than SVS Learn, and I was a little bit fearful and skeptical because it's double. It's $30 a month, sort of. But I have to say, so far I'm impressed. And by the way, this doesn't mean that SVS is less than Schoolism. I would say it's completely different. My notion of SVS is that it's really story-driven, children books illustration, or regular illustration even, but more of a specific story-driven type. And it's amazing. They're great teachers. They're good courses. But I don't think it's so in-depth. Schoolism is just, it's more formal. You have lessons, you have a lesson plan, structured, you have materials, and you'd have a little bit of that on SVS as well, but these guys just take it a little bit further, I think. Now, like I said, quality, I cannot say that one is better than the other one, because so far I've seen completely different stuff. So I think SVS is awesome so far. Schoolism is awesome as well. it impresses me the type of courses that Schoolism has more. I mean, they impress me more because it's more my kind of thing. But that's a personal taste thing. So I'll give you more information on that. I might even try a few more sites depending on these next months, and might even do a final video where I talk about subscription-based pages and my experience with them. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoy this little soft pastel drawing. I will see you next week, and I hope you're all well. And let me know if you want me to talk about something specific, or if you have any questions about what I show here. And take care. Bye-bye.